Hello everyone. Welcome to ECJ Squatty channel. Vanakkam, Namaskar, Swagatam. Today we are going to discuss about Internet of Things, characteristics of Internet of Things. So what is this Internet of Things? So we will first see the introduction to Internet of Things. So Internet of Things comprises things that have unique identities and are connected to Internet, while many existing devices such as networked computers or 4G enabled mobile phones already have some form of unique identities and are also connected to the internet. So the focus on IoT is in the configuration, control, and networking via the Internet of Device or things. So things that are traditionally not associated with the internet. So these include devices such as utility meters, Bluetooth connected headsets, irrigation pumps, sensors, or control circuits for an electric car engine. So these are some things, example for things which are connected to the internet. So Internet of Things is a new revolution in the capabilities of the endpoints that are connected to the internet and is being driven by the advancement in capabilities in sensor networks, mobile devices, wireless communication networks, and cloud technologies. So experts forecast that by the year 2020, there will be a total of 50 billion devices. But we uh, we are now in 2021. So we are in 21. We already crossed that 50 billion um, statistics which was given by a expert, because this pandemic situation, in this pandemic COVID situation, so online classes, online work from home, so the necessity for internet became very high. So even the food is not needed, but the internet, everyone has two mobiles in their hands and two network providers in their hands. So the scope of IoT is not limited to just connecting things to the internet. So IoT allows these things to communicate and exchange data and information, and could include data associated with users. So while executing meaningful application towards a common user or mission goal, the IoT accomplishes many things which are very smart and which we can do within a less span of time with not putting much effort. Okay, data itself does not have a meaning until it is contextualized, processed into useful information. So we need to do that data which we have collected from the network. We need to do it. We need to make it contextualized in order to get a meaningful data from that data. See, meaningful, mm, we need to get meaningful information from the data we are getting. So this information obtained is then organized and condensing and contextualize the data. So structured to infer knowledge about the system or its uses or its environment. It depends upon the application for which it is built. So to give meaning to the data, a context is added, which is an example can be that each tuple in data represents the temperature and humidity measured. If you take an example, wireless sensor network for precision agriculture, there we are collecting the temperature and humidity of a soil or a sand, and we are transmitting to this centralized unit. So there, that data which we are received, it will be in a tuple form, so that each tuple represents the temperature and the humidity. So with this context added, we know the meaning of the measured data tuples. So further information is obtained by categorizing, condensing, or processing the data. So this is a small introduction to IoT. So I also explained one example, wireless sensor network for pressure agriculture. If you take that example, see IoT systems will be present, like we will be having nodes. So different nodes will be present at different places. So I'm taking one example, wireless sensor network for precision agriculture. So let us consider this full area is a agricultural land. Let us consider this as field. So the field is, we are according to the structure and the transmitted power and the transmitted area. Let us consider this. We have divided that into that field into two parts, and we have placed one node 1 and node 2 here. So this node consists of the processor. See, we are going to take sensors. So sensor units will be there. This is humidity sensor and this is temperature sensor that is interfaced with the Arduino board, and this Arduino board is connected to the Zigbee. So here we are using Zigbee technology to communicate. For communication, we are using Zigbee. So this Arduino Zigbee is connected, and this Zigbee will be configured as if it is Zigbee. Again, if you take Zigbee can be configured into 3 devices. One is end device, one is coordinator, and one is router. So if the Zigbee is configured as router, it will be useful to route the data packets. So it will be used as if we extender, I can say. So if that Zigbee is configured as end device, it will act as just to transmit the data, not the receiving data. Okay, this coordinator will receives the data. If the Zigbee is configured as coordinator, then it will receive the data, and all the processing will be done at this coordinator level. So here we are taking node 1 and node 2, and this is at area 1, and I am there at area 2. So I have this centralized unit where I will be getting the information from node 1 and node 2. Okay, node 1, node 2 tuples I'll be having. Okay, so this is the coordinator, and this will be configured as we can configure it as either we can configure it as a router or end device. So if we did, generally we will go with a router, because if this network misses to transmit the data to here, so this router will help this network to transmit the data. So we will design as router. So the data will be given to the coordinator, and here we'll use IoT. So because I'm very far from this area, so Zigbee can't transmit that. So we will connect to IoT. So internet in one website will be there. So here this area coordinator is there. So we'll connect this also to either we can connect all these nodes to IoT, or just this coordinator node to IoT. So this application is very feasible. So we will connect this coordinator to IoT, and I am here in the office sitting, and I want to see the humidity, whether the soil, whether the sand is, whether irrigation is needed or not, whether I want to pour water or not. I want to see sitting at this office. So I'll open the internet and I'll see the status. So this coordinator will give the status to the internet, right? So there, from there I'll get. So humidity is a bit not before, not below the threshold level, but yes, it has somewhat here. But I want it. So I just want to need to water the plant. So I'll update in the IoT to water. So this coordinator will get information from IoT, and it will send to the particular node, and that node will taken care, and irrigation system will be started. So this is one typical example for IoT, not typical example, a brief example for IoT. And we'll go see, when I say IoT alone can't design applications. So various technologies comprises this IoT to build one application. So what all those technologies? See, unification of technologies such as low power embedded system. I was saying about this this wireless sensor network, this all structure, this one node is embedded system. So here we are embedding the sensor into Arduino, Arduinos are present, sensors are present, the communication protocol. So these are one embedded system. So here we are unifying the technology. Which technology? Embedded system. In some cases, cloud computing, big data, machine learning, networking, all those. These are all unification. We will get application. Okay. So when we talk about this big data, say here we are continuously taking data from node 1 and node 2. This is not that much big, but when there are hundreds of nodes, then the data which we receive are very high. So then this big data will help in order to incur meaningful data from this cloud computing. To store the data, we can use this technology, and machine learning to process the data and get a meaningful information from that data. We will do data mining algorithms are present, machine learning algorithms are present. So without networking, we can't get any data to IoT. So these are all. IoT is not a single platform. Many platforms built with IoT will form one application. Okay, so the applications of IoT are nothing but home. If you take home, smart homes are there. If you take cities, smart cities are present. Environment, like a smart uh, carbon footprint there. Energy, smart energy meters are there. Retail, n number of applications are present. Logistics, yes. When it's for example, if we take for logistics, when I want to deliver one pack to one place, I'm here at A1 and I want to deliver a packet at A2, and that packet need not to go any vibrations. So then what I'll do, I'll keep one MEMS sensor, that is MEMS technology. It will detect the angles, tilts. If any tilts are present, it will send. So I'll integrate MEMS technology and GSM technology, and I'll keep that GSM tracker over there in that packet, and I'll send it. If that package feels any vibrations or it undergoes any vibration, definitely I'll get the message. So I'll say, and again, I'll take measures, right? So that is one example for logistics. And yes, we have discussed one example, one brief example for agriculture. Industries, there are in health and lifestyle. Yes, with the emerging technology, wearable sensor, this health and lifestyle becomes very. So this is one example. See, this is the example for smart home. So we are integrating all the equipments, electronic gadgets, electrical items to the Internet of Things, so that if I'm at office and I want to see whether the AC is off or not, then yes, I can open the IoT, where the Internet of Things. I can open the application. I can see whether the status of the AC. So what all the appliances which are connected to the IoT will get the information about it. And yes, AC is on, I want to turn it off. Just one click, it will turn off. So this is one typical example, a smart home for IoT. So the next is the definition of a Internet of Things. What is the definition? A dynamic global network infrastructure. See here, dynamic. Dynamic is important. Network infrastructure with configuring capabilities based on standard and interoperable communication protocols, where physical and virtual things have identities. So physical attributes and virtual personalities, and use intelligent interfaces and are seamlessly integrated into, see this, integrated into information network, often communicate data associated with user and environments. So this is a typical definition of IoT. We'll see the characteristics of IoT. So in characteristics of IoT, that there comes dynamic and self-adapting. So these are 5 characteristics. See, first one is dynamic and self-adapting, self-configuring, interoperable communication protocols, unique identities, integrated into information network. So one by one, we will see it. So the very first characteristics is dynamic and self-adapting. So let us examine one by one. Okay. The first characteristic is dynamic and self-adapting. IoT devices and systems have the capability to dynamically adapt with the changing context and take actions based on their operating condition, uses context, or sensed environment. For example, consider a surveillance system comprising of a number of surveillance cameras. So the surveillance cameras can adapt their modes based on whether it is day or night. So cameras could switch from lower resolution to higher resolution mode when any motion is detected and alert nearby cameras to do the same. So in this example, the surveillance systems is adapting itself based on the context and changing conditions. Okay, this is about dynamic and self-adapting. So the next characteristics is self-configuring. So the self-configuring is nothing but IoT devices may have self-configuring capability, allowing a large number of devices to work together to provide certain functionality. So these devices have the ability to configure themselves, set up the networking, and fetch the latest software upgrades with minimum manual or user intervention. So what is the self-configuring? So allowing a large number of devices to work together to provide certain functionality. So self-configuring, it is nothing but it will set up the network by itself. So no manual interruption is required. Not only set up the network, but also it downloads upgrades are present. If any upgrades is needed to that system, it itself it does. Not a manual intervention is not present, not required. Then interoperable communication. When we talk about interoperable communication for an IoT device, yes, for example, if we take one example, so this is one network. Let us consider network N1, and here one network N2 is there. So these two, no communication is there, and it is there in IoT. Okay, IoT platform, this all network is present. So I want to, this network one want to send data from network 1 to, see this network 1 want to send one data from this network to this network N2. So here to here, I want to packet, I want to send one data packet. So this network 1 configuration is different. So it is using, let us consider, for example, it is using TCP protocol, and this N2 is using UDP protocol. So how it will communicate? We don't know what is there here, what this N1 does, what the design of this N1, all those things it doesn't know. So how it will communicate this? That's why this IoT has a characteristics, which is the main characteristic, that is interoperable communication protocol. So there are many protocols present in order to transmit, or in order to communicate from network 1 to network 2, which have a different configurations. So IoT devices may support a number of interoperable communication protocols and can communicate with other devices and also with the infrastructure. So network 1 infrastructure will be different and network 2's infrastructure will be different. But still it can both N1 and N2 can communicate. It is because of the characteristics of IoT, that is interoperable communication protocol. The next one is unique identity. So each IoT device has a unique identity and a unique identifier. So each IoT device has a unique identity. That means each device has its own IP address. And if it is URIs are there. So IoT system may have intelligent interface which adapts based on the text, allow communicating with users and the environment context. IoT device interfaces allows user to inquire the devices, monitor their status, and control them remotely in association with the control configuration and management infrastructure. So this is about unique identity. The next one is integrated into information network. So what is this? See, we are receiving one data. So this so for example, we already discussed in this one example, wireless sensor network. So we are getting it, right? So IoT devices are usually integrated into the information network that allows them to communicate and exchange data with other devices and systems. So IoT devices can be dynamically discovered in the network by other devices, the network, and have the capability to describe themselves to other devices or user applications. So for example, a weather monitoring node can describe its monitoring capabilities to another connected node so that they can communicate and exchange data. So integration into the information network helps in making IoT systems smarter due to the collective intelligence of the individual devices in collaboration with the infrastructure. So that's the data from a large number of network. Weather monitoring IoT nodes can be aggregated and analyzed to predict the weather. So this is about the characteristics of IoT. So in this session, we have covered about the IoT, introduction to the IoT, and what all the characteristics present in the IoT. So I'll wind up here. Thank you.